I'll go ahead and start this with they shouldn't, and let me clarify. Like, I think that under the age of 12, the majority of people should just go out there and have fun. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that training from a young age is wrong. I think that being too focused on training at too young of an age is wrong, because I'll play the odds, and I'm sure you can back me up on this, but how many people have you met, whether it was the kid's decision or the parent's decision to train from a young age, how many of those kids, one, made it far, or two, enjoy the game?
Not a lot.
Very few, right? And I think that the question has to be, ultimately, like, okay, so if you're training from a young age, I'm guessing that the reason you're training from a young age is because it's something that you want to try to make a career, or maybe even, get to college, or whatever you want to say. And if that's your objective, you have to say, okay, how do I get here? That's the number one question you have to ask. If you're not asking that question, you're not doing the job correctly, because you can't just say, oh, this is going to work, without actually saying, hey, like, what are the steps that gets me there? So first off, I don't care how determined a kid is. I'm sure you've seen this as well. Those kids that like just love baseball, and they're begging their parents to let them play year round. They're begging them to, go do lessons, go do training, whatever. I see probably maybe 1 out of 100 of those kids continuing on to high school. And
I think it depends on what they're doing too.
It does.
If it's fun, if it's not too serious, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
If like you're having them do things that are beneficial, but you're not making it really serious for them, like they don't even really know they're training.
Yeah.
They're just having fun playing games.
Yeah.
Then I think it's fine. But to have a young kid and have them like do where it's not fun for them, and you're like, no, you got to do this because you got to get better. Mm-hmm. Like that's not a good place to be.
Like you need to be in the same mentality that a 16-year-old who's trying to get recruited is in, basically. Like,
right.
It's life or death. You got to make the changes happen now. We got to see the improvement, because at the end of the day, too, you're not getting scouted at 8 years old.
Right. Just like when we have Nolan in here doing stuff, like he's like part of our training for the weight room is like doing some plyometric stuff, where to him it's just trying to see how far he can jump.
Yeah.
And it's fun for him, because he's trying to jump further.
Yeah.
He's doing some dynamic movements that are fun.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, do it just like this, like.
And that motor recruitment.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just he don't even understand that we're trying to get adaptations.
Yeah.
So
interesting. I like that. Yeah, I think that I think that like number one thing is, like, if you don't have somebody who's really sat down and looked at the research, looked into and dove into youth athletics and youth sports, like ultimately just let them have fun. Like, I think that's you're not going to go wrong. I think that's the safe bet. That's the hey, like, I could mess them up, or I could ruin something by going this route. Let's just let them have fun. Like, literally just go out there and play. Because at the end of the day, I'll even say this: there's still a chance they get hurt. Like, there's the inherent risk of getting injured in any sport that you play. It doesn't really matter. The risk of that is going to be, honestly, a little bit lower, in my opinion, just going out and having fun, because they're also not really going to like be pushing themselves like past the limit that they can really like achieve and be able to maintain.
But I think their focus should be have fun and just play full speed.
Play full speed, yeah.
Just play full speed, let it all hang out, have fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
If you're doing those things, if you're doing everything full speed, max effort as a little kid.
Put a caveat in there. Don't be upset as a parent when they make errors playing at full speed.
Right.
That's another thing you got to throw in there, because they will make a lot of errors. Like, but you almost, I would say you'd want them to make the errors early in their career at the high speed, because then they'll learn how to control themselves at the high speed.
Right.
Over time, obviously, and it's not going to happen overnight. How many times? I mean, have you been to like a 8U game or something like that? Have you heard like how upset the parents get when like somebody misses a throw? Oh my God, they're 8 years old.
It's pretty unbelievable.
They're 8 years old. I didn't know what I was doing at 8 years old.
Or a kid strikes out.
Yeah. Or just daydreams. That one I kind of understand. Maybe get them back in and lock them back in. That might be the only time that you can really like, not even like get in their face, but maybe it's like, hey, like you're playing a game. Your teammates need you. You need to pay attention. And that's also where I think teaching team value from a young age as well is actually beneficial, because I think that this is a selfish team sport. if what I mean by that is like ultimately, if you are bettering yourself and getting yourself to the next level, you're helping your team out. So I think that's why I call it a selfish team sport, because like if I just were to follow the path that the team took throughout my entire career, I would never play professional baseball. And that's not me saying I was a bad teammate. That's not me saying I didn't show up to the field and do the right things. And I think that's also a way you can teach that from the youth sport level as well. So.
Oh yeah.